All right. Good day, Grand Rising, and welcome to you all. You are tuned in to the Peak Wellness Hour brought to you by Peak Homecare Associates, located here in Noblesville, Indiana, serving the surrounding area of Noblesville and Indianapolis. So thank you all for tuning in. And of course, we have Queen Kathy B in the house, always first, always present. Thank you so much for being here, Queen. Happy Saturday. Oh, we're so excited. My Queen Mother's here. Grand Rising Queen Mother, aka Rhonda Thomas. So glad you all are here in the building, in the virtual building, the digital building. We are going to have a great conversation. I'm so excited. If you didn't watch last week, you want to go back and watch that. We started talking about the power of your words. It was so juicy and so full of wisdom and knowledge that we couldn't contain it into our little hour. So we're back again talking about the power of your words. And we're just going to keep diving deeper. So glad you all are here with us. Please make sure you hit that like button. Please, 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 please. Hit it now, please, if you will. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. Make sure you set your notifications so you know that we're live every time we go live. And then share with someone, invite someone to join us in our conversations every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We tend to be a little late, but it's only because, and we're going to do better with that because we have to be good stewards of what we're doing. But it's only because we get on here behind the scenes, Queen Edith and I, and we have awesome conversations. And just pour into one another and just, have a quick growth moment, empowerment moment in the conversations we have before we come to you. So thank you for tuning in. Even though we may be a little delayed, we are going to be here. But before we have this conversation, of course, we have to let our CEO and founder of Peak Homecare Associates bring us on in and get us started. Queen.
Hi, good morning. Queen Mother Rhonda, thank you. And all the Queen Betty and all the other queens and kings, thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us. But I have one assignment. Peak Wellness Hour is brought to you by Peak Home Care Associates, located in the city of Noblesville, in the county of Hamilton, and definitely in Indiana. We serve the general Indianapolis area and its surroundings. We've been as far as Muncie, and we'll go to Anderson. So please never say we don't do it. Peak Home Care is a non-medical home care agency, and so we service adults, male, female adults in homes, in facilities. We take care of them. If you have an adult child or any adult with developmentally challenges, we are more than able to help. If you have a family member who just came home from surgery and cannot do a few things, even if it's for a short length of time, we are more than happy to come in and help. We say this: don't assume we don't or we do. Just call us. Our information is right at the bottom of the screen: our website, our phone number, and our email address. And remember this: whatsoever our hands find to do, we determine to do it well. Let's go, Queen.
All righty. All right. So before we get started, thank you, Queen. Before we get started, we want to share with you all, we're going to have this conversation and we never know where it's going to go. It's always going to go somewhere elevating and positive. But we do not, sometimes I don't know if anyone's thinking this, maybe now or in the future, you might be asking, what do these conversations have to do with what Queen Edith just shared when it comes to home care and what we do as far as Peak Home Care Associates? And I want to tell you, it has everything to do with what we do with Peak Home Care Associates. We have various backgrounds between the two of us, and we want to impart our knowledge to those that need this. And so everything we talk about goes into caregiving, whether it is for a loved one, whether it is for self. And we always have to make sure that we are tending to self first to effectively help others, right? So just keep that in mind. Also, we tend to be passionate about whatever we're talking about. We are always mindful of our audience, whether now or later. Okay, so we are mindful, okay, when we talk about things such as ethnicity, such as not politics, but things that are politically affecting our lives, finances, wealth, all these things. And then a religion, for instance, we don't want to be divisive and conflicting, but we do want you to know who we are in our individualities. And so it doesn't fit for everybody. So we do promote Peak Home Care Associates. That's what brought us here. And if there are things that don't fit with you, that's okay, because we want to be honest and open with you and serve any way we can. And we don't have boundaries in what we can do. We're healthcare providers, we're mothers, we're women, all these different things, but we don't have boundaries in how we can serve. So I want you all to keep that in mind. None of these conversations are meant to cause conflict or ruffle anybody's feathers, right? And if there's a situation that you don't understand, that you don't agree with, that's okay. And if it's so pressing for you, please do email us, contact us, communicate with us, okay? Because that's not our intent. So we want to say that first and foremost, okay? So with that being said, we're going to dive into this conversation. That email is right there on the screen if you all have some grievances. And please make it make sense. And when you do that, we want to encourage you to be mindful of your words, okay? Because we're going to do this with intent. So you can say whatever you want, however you want. Just do it respectfully, okay? So with that being said, that's what we were talking about, the power of our words. Again, if you didn't watch last week, Queen Edith just laid it down, okay? I don't know if y'all tend to go to church on Sunday, but y'all got a sermon on a Saturday last week, okay? And she dropped so much truth and knowledge. I loved it. So we're going to dive back into that conversation. I know behind the scenes, Queen Edith and I were talking, and I wanted to share some things with you all, okay? First of all, everybody do me a favor that's in the digital building. Thank you for being here. Do me a favor. I'm going to ask you all a question. I'm going to give you a second to think about it. I know we can be delayed, a little, got to type. So I'm going to give you all a second before you move on. I want you all to really sit here and think right now how you feel, how you are doing, okay? When someone asks you, hey, Queen Edith, how are you? How you doing today? We get these automatic answers and responses. And is that how you're really doing? And I know I shared this before, So I want to ask you all, how are you all doing? Share with us in the comment section how you're doing. If you're good, what makes you good? If, I'm so, I'm okay, I'm here, say that. But what does that mean? I'm here. Well, where would you rather be? I'm making it. I'm alive. These are words. These are phrases that I hear, responses that I hear. My children are really good about that. How you doing, babe? Good day. Well, good morning. It's the morning. How you doing? I'm here. I'm alive. Somebody didn't wake up this morning. So are you pressed about being alive? Because, since you're alive, how are you doing? How are you doing, Queen? I am energized. I am excited. I am motivated. That's how I am doing. And it's not just words. If I'm motivated, then I need to move like I'm motivated. I need to present like that. If I'm excited, then I need to show you I'm excited, right?
Right.
So, how's everybody doing?
And interestingly, the way you respond actually will determine your attitude. The moment you said, I'm motivated, I'm excited, oh, I'm ready for my day. Okay, we're not saying lie, but the words, right? The
Well, it's
words.
not lying, it's intent. So even right now, if I'm not feeling it at the moment, got stuff going on in my head, I feel overwhelmed, you ask me, I'll say I am well, or all is well. My uncle told me, he said one time, I'm exceptionally well. And that stuck with me, exceptionally well. That means despite everything, I'm choosing to be well. And so you're speaking that into life. Thank you, Queen Kathy. Queen Kathy says, I feel great, woke up and felt good inside and happy. Slept for 8 hours, so I'm ready to start my day. You see the intent behind that and the substance behind that. That is so important. how we set the tone for our day. People wake up so many times being grumpy, in a bad mood. You know, what are you breathing for? Did you open your mouth to say thank you or I'm grateful before you? You know, and we don't do that. A lot of times we wake up because we go to bed with the nonsense and it's waiting for us the next morning.
The next one. You know, it's very interesting you'd say that. Normally, I wouldn't wake up early on Saturday morning, showering, step out of the house. Normally, I wouldn't do that, but I have a guest. Pastor Michael is in the house, right? So I decided, let's just go out this morning and go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a cup of coffee. Just when we went out, just walking under the skies with a beautiful fresh breeze over my face just made me feel so much more alive. I am alive, felt so much more alive. It's a beautiful thing. So sometimes we need to figure out ways to give us to get that energy or get that invigoration to keep us going because there's so much in the day for us. Hello, Queen Gloria. Thank you for
It's
being
my
here.
queen aunt in the house, Grand Rising Queen.
I
Thank you
am
for tuning
resting
in.
in the arms of the Lord today and grateful for the rest.
All right. All right. I feel that. I love it. Shout out to my queen aunt Gloria and my king uncle Brian. They just welcomed their first grandbaby. And I know my aunt was waiting for a girl. She has boys. She's been waiting for this grandbaby. So we're so excited to celebrate life with her.
Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world.
Yes.
And let me say something. I found out this morning that it's Apostle Michael's birthday. So shout out to the man of God. Happy birthday,
Happy
man of God.
birthday. Happy birthday. Shout out to my queen's sister. My queen's sister, Crystal, is in the house and she is blessed. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yes. Congratulations on the new baby.
Thank you.
You're
So yeah,
welcome.
we're gonna have this conversation. I was telling Queen Edith, I wanted to share some things with you all. Okay. So we talk about I want to start by talking about spells. Okay. And Eliza, like I said, you all heard Queen Edith drop that sermon last week. And when we talk about spells, right, for a lot of us, it sounds wicked or non-benevolent, ungodly. I don't know how you want to use that, but I want to share something with you all. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna share these little things, and you may not be able to see them, but I'm gonna read them off. So, with spells, first of all, let me say this. Okay, it sounds like something we don't want to dabble in, but if you think when you learn how to read and write, okay, you start forming words. You know, you learn when you're young to form words and but when you start to read and write, okay, it's a different process. When you are spelling, okay, you're initiating words into life.
Wow.
That is what spelling is. That's why the English language is so tricky. It is the most difficult language to learn, they say, because there's so many idiosyncrasies there and there. What are the words? What are some different words? What do I call it? Synonyms. Where and where. Here and here. Different ways you can interpret that. I before E except E.
Right.
There is a system that the elite or whatever you want to call them have set up to where the words that you speak, like we talked about last week, the things that you think, right? You form words out of your thoughts. That's why Queen said last week, when you think it, it's done before you speak it because of the intent, right? So when we don't understand that we are literally casting spells in everything we say, I love you, I hate you, I forgive, I'm grateful, I don't care. That is what we're doing. So let me show you all something. And you probably can't see it on the screen that big. This says spells are magical practice. And this is, AI Google telling me. Spells are magical practice that can involve words, gestures, or other actions performed with the intent. So it's about intent with our words to unleash supernatural power. Okay. Now, when we think that, now that's where we get is it benevolent? Is it wicked? Well, it doesn't matter, because what's happening is it doesn't matter who says it. Words are words. I don't want to get into this real deep. I'm going to take this off the screen really quickly. I don't want to get into this really deep. But if you don't understand and digest truth and wisdom, not just knowledge, but wisdom, okay, you don't realize the effect that you have. So if I told you, again, we don't want to get divisive and go too deep into different things. But if I were to tell you that the same individual that helped put together the Christian Bible is the same individual that helped put together the Satanic Bible, does it make the Christian Bible any less effective? And if the same formulas are in both, as far as tapping into supernatural, what does that mean with our intent? Because if you look at it, a lot of people that shouldn't have the power and authority that they have, that we deem wicked or evil with malice intent, they understand how to use that power and authority. And that's why they are where they are right now, because they understand that formula. Okay. So with spells, a couple of things, recitation. It says, here are some things. I'm gonna turn my screen off so I'm not dipping my face into the screen looking crazy. It says, here are some things to consider when understanding how spells work. Recitation. The correct recitation of a spell, often with accompanying gestures, is thought to release supernatural power. Now, this is not a religious thing, because we're all supernatural beings in this fleshly body, correct? So it's not about religion. We are all spirits in this flesh. Okay. So once we understand how to dive into that and tap into our supernatural, our God-given rights and powers and authorities, it makes more sense. So it says some societies believe that reciting a spell incorrectly can nullify the magic or even kill the practitioner. So when we say magic, don't you think it's magical to be able to speak life into life, where someone dealing with cancer and a physician spoke a spell that told you that you only have 4 to 6 weeks and there's nothing they can do? That was that spell they cast on you. But if you recite, I am healed, I am whole, I am cancer free, I am disease free. These recitations is what this is talking about. Okay. So when you keep telling somebody they're stupid or they're worthless or you'll never be anything, and you keep reciting that, what do you think happens to a child that grows up hearing that all the time? Not only will they feel like that, they will show you what that looks like. Okay. The next thing is purpose. The most successful spells are those that originate from a burning desire or need. The outcome of a spell will reflect the caster's temperament, at the time of the creation. So when you were speaking things into existence, Queen Edith made me mad. Oh, I hope, this happens, or I hope that happens to her. I am so angry. My temperament versus saying, I'm not fooling with Edith no more. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. But that temperament where you are so aggressive in that desire changes things. So what is the purpose for what you're saying? So if you're saying that you're whole, the doctor said this, but you're saying, well, God said this, I believe that. Well, you say it, but where's the purpose behind it? When I am healed, when I am whole, as I am healing, as I am being made whole, I am going to change my life and do X, Y, Z. What's the purpose? Because if you're casting things without purpose, see what I'm saying? Like, you have to have some substance there, I guess. Tools, objects, rituals, and cosmetic warriors can be used as conduits to channel energy, but they're not inherently magical. So, and again, talking about religion, the cross, the rosary, whatever that is, an image of your loved one that made a difference. What do those things look like? And then the last part of that was a couple things, spell levels. And I really didn't understand this. Spells can only go up, so a caster cannot cast a third level spell at a lower level. I don't really know what that means. Cantrips are a type of spell that can be cast repeatedly without consuming spell slot. Those are different things. I really didn't want to get into that, but my point to that is we have to be realistic about what we're speaking. And understand that whether you intend to or not, your words inflict life or death on yourself and others around you. Okay. Before I move on, Queen, did you want to chime in on any of that?
Wow. I was just talking behind the scenes with Apostle said, this is very revelational. Because we we are struggling and suffering and going through things because we are speaking ignorantly. When you said spell, when I say spell your name, okay, spell is a word that is used for magical incantations. But the truth and the reality is that a spell is also used to invoke the realms of the spirit into our lives. Okay, so when I say spell your name, it means that speak your name in a way that is empowering to you. So even the name you carry, the meaning of your name, I am Edith, I am Edith, I am Edith, I am Edith, I am Edith. I'm speaking the reality of my name into me. I'm so thankful to my parents for naming me Edith because I know the meaning of my name. And so I'm proud to say I am Edith. Okay, so every day the things we're saying, even calling out our own names, we are invoking the spirit behind the name, the power behind the name to work in us and on us and through us and just work in our lives. And we are so ignorant. The meaning says with intent. But the reality is that because we are spirit, the spirit world may take it when we are ignorant and use it how they deem fit, whether they're working against us or working for us. So it's so important not to overlook the power of the words we speak. We cannot be ignorant. We cannot just play with words. It is a kind of a spell we speak into our lives. When the Bible says that the power, what is this? Life and death lay in the power of your tongue. It is not a joke. Okay, it is not a joke. So, Queen, you bring us some powerful revelation. And if you and I will be careful about the words we are speaking into our lives, I like mind games on cards, to be honest with you, into our life, will be intentional. Even when you're not feeling it. Feelings is so overrated sometimes. The fact that you're not feeling me, or the fact that you're feeling something, does not make it your reality.
Absolutely.
When Queen
You're right.
Angelina says to me, Edith, I feel like this thing you're doing, maybe if we shifted it to the left or to the right, or maybe if we said it that way. She didn't say that's what it is. She said that's
Mhm.
how I feel about
Mhm.
it. Okay, and we need to be careful. So if I'm feeling it, doesn't make it a reality. In our relationships, even because what in our relationships, speaking with our spouses, and you come to your spouse and say, the other time when you were talking to me, you made this statement, and this statement you made makes me feel this way.
Mhm.
If your spouse is sensitive enough, they will know that you're not saying this thing you said means this to me, but this is how it makes me feel. And we have to
Mhm.
respect how people feel. You can't change how people feel. You can tell them what you intended. Oh, Queen, I'm sorry. I wasn't intending that. This is what I meant to say.
Mhm.
If it still makes you feel this way, then let's talk about it.
Mhm.
Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. So, in all of it, the words we use, we need to be listening to
Mhm.
ourselves. One of the greatest skills of communication is listening to self and to the other person. If you're talking to the other person, if you're talking to yourself, listen to what you're saying to yourself. You have to be intentional. So we are
Mhm.
not saying that you use something like I have cancer. Sickness is like cancer. The doctor says you're going to die in 48 hours or 48 days or 10 days. Whatever the doctor says, the doctor has said it. The doctor is saying what he knows based
Mhm.
on his medical profession, okay? And he is right. And in all reality, it is right. There's the figures, the whatever, the scans, all of them are showing what is right. But that's what he knows. And
Mhm.
you follow their instructions medically. Okay? But what we are saying is that your mindset also plays a role.
Mhm.
Let him do what he knows. You do what you know. You go ahead and pray. Follow the prescription, do, but you go ahead and pray and speak life into that situation and let the two work together on your behalf. At the end of the day, you may not be able to tell whether it was medicine or whether it is God, but in you, you know that God used all of it for your good. So we are not giving medical advice and saying, oh, use your words to heal yourself. You don't need a doctor. Let me put this out there right now. We are saying that your thought processes, your words, the things you think about, the things you speak about, and you speak to yourself. The other time I said something, I said our environment. They say inanimate, it said walls have ears, right? And walls are inanimate. They have
Mhm.
ears. We are surrounded. The Bible says we are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses. Who are these witnesses? They are watching over the words you speak to perform for you. There's a realm that's listening and it's at your bidding. So what you say, they know you mean it, they take it and they work with it. What are you saying? And what is working on your behalf that you don't even see? So,
Mhm.
Queen, you raised some very, very powerful things. And if all we need to do is to delve deeper into what you said, then that's it. Because words do so much in our lives. We create or
Mhm.
we destroy. But what we say, we are getting ready to end the year. Don't wait till 31st December or New Year's Eve and start making, and I'm going to do this. Start now
Mhm.
and speak it and be intentional. Think 2 times before you open your lips and speak. Thank you, Queen. That was so powerful. I don't know what else to
Thank
add.
you. And I want to touch on something you said with the feelings. We meant, I know, and again, you all had to go back and watch last week where we talked about different things and how we think and how we're programmed on the inside that we're not even aware of. But I think with when you said with feelings, your feelings don't make it reality. The thing with that is some along those lines.
To some
But
extent,
but the thing is your feelings and emotions and thought process doesn't make it the reality for
Edith,
the norm. But how you feel is your reality.
it is.
So you do have to check that. If you are always angry, this how you feel, that is your reality. So if I have words with my husband and my king, and he said something, he asked, why, says, you're always busy, da, 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 and it's like, okay, so he says this, you're always busy. And now I'm thinking to myself, well, you don't understand. I'm busy because I'm trying to do something for us, and I'm trying to da 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 da. You don't get, And this is how I feel. I feel like you don't understand. I feel like you don't respect the process that I'm going through for us. But that's not what he said. What he said is you're always busy, and that's the truth. You see what I'm saying? And now out of my emotions, I'm trying to rationalize what is real. But in my head, it's real that you don't understand. It's real that you don't get it, but in reality, what he said is what it was, right? And so we have to stop. Our emotions are valid to us. Yes, fear is the mind killer. Thank you. We have to understand what's real to us and why it matters. Okay. I want to touch, I don't know if we're going to get here today. Y'all going to make us do a part 3. But I was thinking about love and hate. How many people think about some foods that you hate, or a movie that you hate, or a movie that you love?
Queen, before you go in, I want to comment on mind
Mm-hmm.
games. What he said about fear is the mind killer.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very valid feeling, fear. A lot of us don't get up and be who we've been created to be because of fear. Fear of the people, what they will say, fear of failing, fear of different things. And I want to add that, and when it kills your mind, it also cripples you. In other words, it stops you or make it very difficult to move with it. And it's a valid feeling to the person fearing. But when fear becomes crippling, then it is a problem that needs to be dealt with. Because I also know that you can feel the fear in some form of an anxiety and still get up and do and be. Sometimes it is the adrenaline that pushes you. So there are different levels of fear, but if you have fear that is killing you psychologically, mentally, and it's crippling you, it's very serious, and we need to deal with it because we are not meant to live in fear. We are meant to get up and do the work and trust the process. And you gotta speak into yourself that yeah, I'm feeling this fear, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I believe this is the direction I need to follow. I really, really want to say that. Thank you.
Let me ask you a question, and this is for the audience too. Do you think when it
Mhm.
comes to fear, people are more fearful of the unknown or the known? And what I mean by that, like, if I don't know, if I'm doing something that may result in something negative, okay? Like if I don't know, I have a situation, my money's not right, and for some reason I'm going to rob a convenience store, right? I know the results. I know that I could possibly go to jail. Okay. But my situation prompts me to where, despite those results, I'm not afraid because this thing is happening. Versus if somebody says, I want to start, Queen is starting a church, Queen is in school for family therapy. Are you afraid that I might not make it? Do we get on here and say, well, I hope people are going to come? I'm afraid that nobody's going to share. I'm afraid nobody's going to show up. What are you afraid of? Because I feel like it's more of the unknown, where if you're afraid to fail, if you're afraid not to make it, you have to actually try in order to fail, just like you have to try in order to succeed. And once we remove those limitations, then what are you afraid of?
It's a very great analogy. Okay, so
Mhm.
let's just say this church plant right now in the state of Indiana. Have I thought about it? Absolutely yes. But I let my faith overwrite my fear. What I've said to myself, and I'm coming from my Christian upbringing, my Christian perspective, my relationship with the God I know. I know without a doubt that it's a path I need to walk. I know that I'm being directed in that direction, okay? So it's something I must do. Otherwise, I will live a very unfulfilled life, right? Will people come? I do not know. Okay, will this thing be successful? I do not know, but I do believe in a power greater than me, and I do believe I'm walking in obedience, and I do also know that beginnings are always difficult. So do I expect magic at the beginning? No. But do I think it will grow? Absolutely, if I'm willing to do the work, because it's work.
Mm-hmm.
We started Peak Home Care, right? It's been what, 2021, 3 years now. Am I where I hoped and thought I will be at this time? Absolutely not at all. Actually, I'm below even my expectation in 3 years. Am I going to stop? Absolutely not. Do I believe that when I keep pushing and pressing in, I will eventually reach it? Absolutely yes. Have I felt the fear? Have I wanted to quit? Oh, yes, many times. But I'm determined to do this because I know I've been called to do. Once again, for me, Peak Home Care is not just a business, it's a calling. And I know I was also directed. I feel like God led me into it. So, absolutely, if God called me to it, then He will. But I have to do the work. I can sit
Mm-hmm.
on my bed all day, do nothing, and expect that God will go ahead and do the marketing and call the people in. Even if He calls the people in and I don't have what I need to put on the ground, I will still lose. And we can't blame God or anything. There is always work, there is always a price to pay. So, yes, we speak all these into reality, we believe it, but faith without works. We got to take the steps that it's needed. Those sleepless nights where you need to be on your knees, praying when you need to go out and give in and give our Bible tracts and evangelize with people. People will just, who does she think it is? All of that. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't do the work, your fear will be increased. It's going to appreciate because you're not doing the work, so you will not succeed. So, absolutely, yes, fear, facts. Thank you. Thank you, Mind Games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my answer to it.
I agree. I agree. And Mind Game says something early. People are not risk takers. We're not, and that's why collectively we are where we are right now, because
Mm,
we don't feel worthy enough. You said something earlier. I'm going to go back to with spelling your name, right?
mm.
Yeah, not to make it too deep for anybody, because we want to be transparent so y'all get it and not dismiss the message. But like, so we talk about biblically, where in the Bible it says, "I am that I am," right? And God's talking, right? So if we are all made in the image of God, or creator, or universe, however you want to put that, then I find it very interesting where we quote these things. See, we say things, then there's no power behind it. Okay. So if it's the "I am that I am," so who are you? I'm Edith. I'm Angelina. So I am. Before my name, I am. There might be another Angelina Tardy. I haven't met another Angelina Tardy, but there might be. Okay. But I am, right? And the God in me is the I am. So, when it comes to fear, I think we have a tendency to rely on God, a higher power, something supernatural, something beyond our understanding. But again, like you said, we're not doing the work. Isn't it? Don't you find it fascinating, awesome, where you can identify the God in you and you can move according to how you are purposed to move? And when you do these things, you don't have to say, well, if God this and God that. If you can say God this and God, or whatever you want to say, Martin Luther King, whatever you want to say, but if they don't see that in you, then you can't be godlike and act like a heathen. You understand what I'm saying? We have to have some substance within us. So when we are the I am that we are, that God has purposed us to be, and you're not walking in that, you're not speaking that life, you're not moving as a living word, it's detrimental.
Queen, so I am Edith. For example, I meet you. Oh, what's your name? And you say my name is Angelina, right? My name is Angelina. It's different from I am Angelina. The moment you say I am Angelina, there's a conviction, there is a power right there. There is a confidence level. Yeah, it's my name, but I am what it says that I am, right? So, for example, Edith means a rich warrior, okay? And I have always said that I don't go down, first of all. And I rise through my fights. I rise through the challenges. I rise. You know my slogan, peak. For out of my ashes, I arise. That's it. My fires, I am Edith. I'm a rich warrior. I am wealthy in war. So when I say I am Edith, I have all those things behind my mind, in the back of my mind. So what is the meaning of your name? When you say I am, what are you confessing? What are you confessing to yourself? And because I know that, I walk in that power.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go out arrogant, but I walk in that power, knowing who I am. And it didn't come in a day. I've paid a lot of prices to get to right here where I am. And
Mm-hmm.
we all need to be willing. I think your love and hate will be part 3, because we don't want to
Yep.
touch
Yep.
on it and just let it go like that. We don't want to
Right. I agree.
trivialize it. Right. So, Queen, I'll
And
let you
I
go.
went with that though. So if you say I am, so but what do you allow other people to say about you? Edith, the crazy girl, the crazy one that's always running her mouth, that's always she's loud, da, da, da. What do you allow people to say about you? And if that's what they're saying, then is that what it is or is it not? And I think I shared this with you all before. My husband and I, my king and I, we work in nursing. We've crossed the same paths of people. And years ago, I was the skinny, crazy black chick. It was always that order. Different people were saying the same thing. The skinny, crazy black chick. And it wasn't that I'm crazy. It was that I'm passionate about how I move. And when it comes to patient care, I can get a little about it when it comes to taking care of people. And it came off looking crazy because are you serious? You didn't do this. You didn't take this patient, It looked crazy. It didn't look passionate. They understood the passion, but it still came off as looking crazy. And when people started saying that to my husband that worked in a whole different facility, my wife works over there. Oh, the crazy skinny black chick. Oh, yeah, that's me. They know me. I had to change that. And I'm still just as passionate, but now I can tell you. I said, why have you work here? You shouldn't be a nurse. Instead of doing that, I can calmly say, you should probably get your act together because you don't look like you are fit for this. And I don't want to have to call the State Board of Health on you. And
So
what they
it's the
said now,
same
this is
passion.
crazy. She must be now. She must be crazy if she's gonna call the State Board. She must be crazy. No, I can show you better than I can tell you. But what she won't ever do is speak words over my life that dictate my purpose and how I move. That's what we have to stop allowing people to do. And that's what I mean by taking charge and power and authority over your life. I know we love people to pray for us. There is nothing wrong with coming together and speaking life in unity. That's scripture too, right? It doesn't matter either way it goes. If you get together, even are sitting here gossiping, with Queen Kathy, right? We're still coming together, 2 or 3 gathered. And now all of us are invoking. You see, so when we ask people to pray for us, that's something I've been very cautious about anymore. And I've had experiences. It's interesting. People say, well, just pray for me. And I'll ask, well, what do you want me to pray for? Just pray. Well, that's dangerous because if I'm telling Edith, I hate this. I hate my job, not peak home care, but I hate my job. My family's getting on my nerves. Now, Edith is listening to me griping and complaining, and Edith's concerned. Edith wants to intercede, and she knows I hate my job because I said I hate it. But now, Edith, I'm just complaining, and Edith's on her knees. She's in her prayer closet praying me into a different position. I done looked up, and now I'm fired because of mishap, because Edith prayed me out something. I asked her. See, I'm saying you have to watch who you allow to speak life over you, even with prayer. And if you cannot, let me tell you something. If you cannot speak life into your own life through prayer and meditation and solitude with a higher creator, higher power, you don't want people just putting hands on you, laying hands on you, speaking life over you, because they don't have the full story. Even if they're operating in a godlike manner, they don't have the whole story. Okay. And you're causing detriment to yourself. Now you want somebody to intercede with you. Hey, Queen Edith, I'm praying for this promotion. I believe it's gonna, I know it's gonna happen. Let's just touch and agree, and let's just give thanks. We're not getting together and saying, oh God, please make sure she gets it. We're just gonna believe it. No, it's done. I just want to celebrate with you and speak this into the universe. You see what I'm saying? We have to have more power and authority in the words that we speak. And if you understand the divinity of that which is in you, that's what it is. I joked the other day with my dad, and I was telling him sometimes when we have these words from God, hey, Queenie, if God told me to tell you this, or I say something to Edith, she looks, well, did God tell you that? I'm not in the business of being in a threesome with God and anybody else. Okay. This main line works. Okay. So if God has sent you to tell me, it's because I've not been listening. I've not been focused and tuned in. And shame on me, but you still have to find some discernment. Okay. And walk that path. We have to be very careful and very intentional in how we move. Stop telling people your business. Especially as married couples. And I've been guilty of this. Okay. Stop telling people your business if they are not about solution and empowerment. If I'm talking to Edith about her, she's dating, looking to get married. And I'm so, well, my marriage sucks. And, he don't listen and he don't do this. And, make sure you watch these men, don't trust them. How dare you? And now Eve's thinking to herself, well, yeah, I had been in relationships before, where I didn't trust. So maybe I won't trust him. Maybe stop putting your business out there to people that don't mean you well. And it's not intentional that they mean you harm. They're just not equipped to empower, support, and celebrate with you and walk through that journey. You can still hang out with them if you want, don't know their worth. But watch who you open your mouth to. Because you're casting spells every single time, and you're allowing someone else to do that. Girl, you know her marriage sucks. They look good on camera, but her marriage sucks. They be arguing. They don't get along. They sleep in separate rooms. That ain't my situation. I'm just telling you. Be careful. Be very careful.
Word. You preaching, girl. You preaching. Yeah. So I want to look at what Gloria has put a few comments. It says, keep it in mind when you come to the power of words said. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. You see, and then she says, every spirit has to have a host, and we have to choose what we house. Ooh. If you don't believe yourself, why should anybody else even believe you anyway? And okay, the word of God says the birds hear and will carry your words. I'm not sure I understand that, but and then so we end up taking once again the spirit of fear. Absolutely true. So she's commenting on some of the things, but she says, for example, I believe sometimes fear comes in when you're exposed to something or someone, and sometimes you act in fear for fear of failure. But who are you feeling, yourself or others? Okay, so these are great comments. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. See how sound mind comes when fear comes. So when you have fear, you don't have sound mind. That's basically what this is saying.
Can I touch? I know we're almost out of time. I'm going to touch on that. So I think a lot of times fear can be intertwined with our love and our disdain, dislike, hatred, I don't know what you're going to call it, for people. Are you afraid to tell somebody the truth? You know what I'm saying? Are you afraid to be open and honest? You know, Queen Eve, I love you, I respect you, but what you said was unnecessary. It was out of pocket. It was disrespectful. You know, are we afraid to have those conversations and say those things? You know, what's the repercussion? Well, if I'm telling Queen Eve that her behavior is not conducive for how she walk, you know, how she, you know, proclaims herself, then doesn't it do both of us some good? You know, but we have to be, we're so, I think out of fear, we're so afraid that in our minds we play this thing out. So if I say this to Edith, she might say this and she might say that. And now I make it more aggressive, you know, because if she says something crazy when I'm trying to help her, you know you're wrong. Why'd you even say that? You know, and there's no, you see, so we have to be careful having that fear of not wanting to address things and correct things in love. And that's why people are so lost, because, you know, we're quoting things and shaming people and doing all this weird stuff. But like, let's throw some stones at these glass houses. If I tell you something in love, is I want to make it the truth. Now, if you want to go back and forth about my faults, we can, but we have to have discussions and conversations where we can grow without discomfort, without growing pains, right?
It's very interesting, Queen. Our time is up, ladies and gentlemen, but we almost done here. I want to talk about when you said people said you were crazy, 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 and I like the fact that you took it, because everybody was saying it. You took it as a constructive criticism and corrected what you could correct. So sometimes people speak things, and if you will be honest with yourself and not become so defensive, because sometimes they're saying it, they may not even mean constructively. However, if you will just pay attention and watch your ways, you can grow and be better. Okay, people will speak. You have the power to reject, and you can accept, but listen to it, watch your life, see where you can grow out of it, because you and I are not islands. I can't be an island. I need Queen Angel. We need all of you to be here supporting us. We are community, and that's just how we are made. So if there's something about me and everybody's saying it, maybe I need to check myself
Come on now.
to be better. Okay, let's not take all criticism as now the word is haters. Everybody hates you because they're speaking something honest. We don't have to be nasty about it. We don't have to be rude about it. We don't have to be mean about it. But we can speak the truth in love and let it be an honest truth. And let me listen to you and even what everybody's saying and see, could there be a truth in it? Am I really projecting myself that way? How can I change? How can I make this better? We can't continue to be defensive and call everybody a hater. They may not hate you speaking what they're speaking, and they may be speaking the truth. It is a platform for us to use to grow and be better. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And my husband always says, my king always says, you know, if you throw a brick at a pack of dogs, the one that barks is the one that got hit. So if it doesn't apply to you, it doesn't. But when you have multiple people saying how they see you, you might not want to be that way, but you can't deny that there is some truth in that. And it goes both ways. We're almost done, y'all. It goes both ways, because when people speak life to you, oh, you know, Eva's so awesome. You know, I don't know what I would do without her. You know, she's the greatest. You know, you're like, oh no, I'm just, nah. I have patience. I've told my managers at this other job, you know, I don't like, I would prefer not to have new clients, because every time I go in, I'm not being boastful. I'm being honest. Okay, let's be honest with our greatness, y'all, and not stop shaming ourselves.
Yes.
When I go in for the first time and I just do what I do, being very basic, it's like, oh, I want you. I only want you. I just want you to come back. You know, I can't be everywhere, but that's what I want. Then I had one situation, lady cursed me out because of something I didn't even do. You know, I took it a couple times. At that third time, we was done. Like, I'm not gonna deal with that disrespect. I don't care who you are and who you think I am. But I stayed on my path of being who I am, not being professional or being respectful. That's who I am. It's not an act. You can get it the other way, and it doesn't have to be so hateful, but you can get it the other way and you'll still see God in it, but you're going to get checked, so we have to be very careful and not minimize ourselves when we are great. My grandmother always told me, if everybody loves you. She says, if everybody loves you,
you're doing
you need
something
to
wrong.
check yourself. There's something off, because if everybody loves you, then you moving around, you're not consistent. I would love for everybody to love me. What you will do is respect me. You don't have to love me. You don't have to like me. But for me, I don't see how you couldn't, because I do strive to be as
You are
righteous as
Angelina, and really you've lived the name of your life. I mean, my experience with you, you are Angelina. It says I am means that I am. All that you need, that is the name. You are Angelina Queen. You are Angelina. Period.
Thank you.
And Gloria said, you must know who you are so you know how to walk in victory.
Oh, we should leave it with that, because that is the whole purpose of this is being victorious, being triumphant, being able to be the best you that you can be. And it starts with just speaking life. Just speaking life, who is that? I don't know. Hopefully that says hi, Grand Rising. I'm gonna say one more thing and we're gonna get out of here. I want to share.
I called it. That's my cousin in New York.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't have to watch these comments anymore, because I be letting people, gotta watch them. Grand Rising. One more thing I want to share with you all. The words we speak. I'll leave this with this. When I say, you all hear me say good day, Grand Rising, things like that, it's because it's intent. Okay. When I say good day, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. I am intentionally wishing you well throughout your whole day. Say good morning, then that leaves you until about noon. Good evening, it leaves you to, Grand Rising. I know Mind Games. Shout out to Mind Games. Shout out to Queen Kathy B. When I first got with them, United Enterprise of Akivalon, and I heard Grand Rising, I would think to myself, and in our chats, we'll say Grand Rising, doesn't matter what time of day it is. And I thought, well, it's evening time now, so does it make sense, right? But it does, because in everything you do, you are to rise and do it in a grand fashion every single time. We just have today. You don't have today. Well, what is it? Noon, 11 o'clock. We have what? 13 more hours. You don't have the day. You have right now. You might drop dead, God forbid, when we're done with this. You have right now. How will you rise right now? What words will you speak? What life will you cast into your atmosphere? I'm going to leave it with that, Queen. Oh, no, before we go, I'm so sorry. We got to go. Before we go, want to remind you all, few announcements. Thank you all for being here. Hit the like button.
And then I'll say the final, and then we close. Okay.
Yes, few announcements. Want to remind you guys, first of all, I'm going to save the best for last. Y'all check out this book. It's called The Power of Words. You can get it on Amazon. I put that link in the description and in the chat. Cool little book about positive affirmations and speaking life on a daily basis. Second thing, put in the chat or the description also. Every Sunday, I do a watch party. It's a 30-minute video. This is episode 4. We're talking about survival versus creation. And it's actually talking about how your words have life, how to implement that, and all that good stuff. So check that out. The link is in the description. One more important thing. Okay, we're going to get out of here. Next weekend, Queen Edith has her event. She's being inducted as far as pastoral induction. Excuse me. So you all want to make sure you check that out. Go over to her Facebook page, which is also in the description, and check that out. All weekend, they're going to be fellowshipping. And with that said, we do want to, I know I spoke with Apostle Mike earlier. We want to go ahead and let him get on the screen really quickly, say hello to everyone. Because we've been promoting this.
Apostle is coming around to invite every single one of you. Please come in and share something. Yes, Apostle, yes.
He's
Okay.
all the way from Ghana, you all the
Wow.
way from Ghana.
Peace and
Go
many
ahead, King.
blessings to everyone. I'm so happy to be here for the inaugural service of the church. And I want to take this opportunity to invite all of you to be part of what God is about to do in this city. And so from next week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we hope to see all of you. And I know God is going to use his servant, Bishop Dr. Steve Mensah, to minister to all of us. And on Sunday, which is the 17th, we're going to have the inaugural service, and we'll take it up from there. And I know this church is going to become great. And I hope to see all of you to become members of the church, and pray that God will use us to do mighty things in this city. God bless you, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for getting on camera with us. I know Queen Edith's been speaking highly of this event, like I told you earlier, and she's very excited. So make sure you all are, if you're available, come out and celebrate and just support, and just be blessed. So, with that being said, Queen, you want to take us out?
Friends and family, I can't wait to see you. Come and support us. Come and stand with me as I'm inducted into this, the most important work I will ever do, serving God. But more importantly, serving man, serving every single one of you as a minister and a servant of God. I don't take it lightly. It's a very powerful thing. It's a very surreal and humble thing. And as much as possible, I love to see each one of you there for the first time. Friday evening, Saturday morning is a seminar. It's a teaching seminar, and it will be impactful. You can look up Reverend Steve Mensah or Bishop Dr. Steve Mensah. The name of the church is Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry. It is all over the world. This is the 8th branch being opened in the United States. So we are not new here. Indiana may be new, but we are not new in even America. Everywhere in the world, globally, we are there. Having said that, someone might question, what does Peak Home Care got to do with all this conversation about the power of your words and all of that? Remember that this program is about wellness. We are body, soul, and spirit. Our wellness is not only focused on health or coming to your house to support you. Our wellness is all rounded. Okay, since you already know I'm a pastor, the word of God said that God said it is his wish above everything else that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. This is a very loaded scripture. You, as an individual, spiritually, you prosper. Even as your soul prosper, your soul is made up of your will, your mind, your will, and your emotions. When you have wellness in that area, you have wellness in your spirit realms, you have wellness in your body, because you are body, soul, and spirit. That is total prosperity. It impacts your businesses, it impacts your marriages, it impacts other relationships, it impacts your finances, it impacts you all around. So, yes, this is peak wellness hour. Anything that goes into your total wellness matters to us. So, hence these topics. So, well, I hope you've been a blessing. And we thank you so much. We see so many of you. We are so grateful. And we look forward to seeing you on Saturday morning. Obviously, we will not be here Saturday morning. Queen Angel will be with me on the ground. So, yes, we will not be here Saturday morning. If you're not able to come, I'm hoping you will come to the seminar, because your life will not be the same. Thank you.
All right, there it is. We are so grateful for you all being here. We certainly love you all. Make sure you stay tuned. We are going to touch on love, what love looks like, and all these emotions, all my good jazz. We're just going to keep it fresh and share our insight and our knowledge and wisdom with you all. We are so grateful that you all have done the same. Um,
The address is 11455 IKEA Way. It's the Hyatt House in Fishers, IKEA Way, 11455 IKEA Way, the Hyatt House. We will highlight it. Please take a minute and go to my Facebook page, and I will be making a lot of noise this week on the website. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Sylvia. Thank you.
there it goes. There it goes. Thank you for asking. Yeah, you all make sure in the description, like I said, Queen Edith's personal Facebook page is on there. So I think it's on my page too. So you all check that out. So grateful for everyone that's here. We love you all. We cannot wait to see you again. We wish you peace, love, and blessings. Until next time.